this channel for a lot of reasons, but since award season has gone into full swing after the Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild Awards, and even the BAFTAs have come and gone, now I want to be able to voice my own opinion on who I think will take home Oscars this year at the 86th Annual Academy Awards, or the 2014 Oscars as I like to call them. This year is also a pretty competitive year, as I'm going to be covering 10 of this year's major nominees, and we'll talk about who I think should and will win in each category in my own opinion. Here we go. For Best Supporting Actor, the nominees are Farhad Abdi for Captain Phillips, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. For me, this award will undoubtedly go to Jared Leto, as not only did Leto have to lose a large amount of weight to play a transgender woman stricken with HIV, but his performance stands out from the rest of the nominees, as Abdi and Fassbender were both playing the crazy villain type role, despite being pretty good at playing these villains. And Cooper and Hill were playing these wildly funny and eccentric characters in their films, and they also did pretty well, but not as well as Leto, in my opinion. Final vote on this category is that Leto should win the Oscar and will win the Oscar. For Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August Osage County, and June Squibb for Nebraska. This category really only comes down to two nominees, as Jennifer Lawrence and Lupita Nyong'o have been winning this category from many other award shows, but this is pretty difficult to predict who will win as well. On the one hand, Lawrence has already gotten an Oscar last year for another David O. Russell film, Silver Linings Playbook, and Nyong'o just got as much buzz as Lawrence for her performance as well. But as for my own opinion, I'm going to have to say that Lawrence should win, as I am biased towards Lawrence, as I really like her character in American Hustle, despite not having a lot of screen time as her co-stars did, and she is already popular enough as it is, which this Oscar win for her would only make her more significant as an actress. However, I think Nyong'o will win this one come Oscar night, as not a lot of newcomers get this much attention for one role, as her performance in 12 Years a Slave also carried the film as well. Final vote on this category is that Lawrence should win the Oscar, but Lupita Nyong'o will win the Oscar. For Best Original Song, the nominees are Alone Yet Not Alone from Alone Yet Not Alone, Happy from Despicable Me 2, Let It Go from Frozen, The Moon Song from Her, and Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. This category is really interesting, not just for the song variety, but because just recently, Alone Yet Not Alone's nomination was revoked by the Academy because the song was being promoted in a way that violated the Academy's rules. So the nominee is obviously not going to win. As for whom I think should win, I really want The Moon Song from Her to win, as the song really captured the relationship that Joaquin Phoenix's character had with Scarlett Johansson's, and that it says so much for just being a simple 2.5-minute song. In fact, just to add on briefly, Her should not only take this Oscar, but the Best Original Score Oscar as well, as the music by Arcade Fire was beautifully composed and helped drive the movie forward. But something does tell me that the score from Gravity will take it, because it added further attention to its plot. But anyway, moving back to the Best Original Song category. I think the song that will win comes down between Let It Go from Frozen and Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, as Ordinary Love won this same award back at the Golden Globes, along with it being the only Oscar nomination it got. Also, had it not been for Mandela's tragic passing back in December, I don't think the movie would have gotten this much attention this award season, as, other than Idris Elba's performance as Mandela and U2's I heard the rest of the movie was not that good. On the other hand, Let It Go still has a chance to take it, as Disney songs have a history of winning, and the critical claim of financial success of Frozen may factor in as well. But I still think Ordinary Love will win just because it has a Golden Globe. Final vote on this category is that the Moon Song from Her should win the Oscar, but Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, will win the Oscar. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are Before Midnight, Captain Phillips, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. All I have to say for this category is that 12 Years a Slave should and will win here, because it must have been challenging to adapt Solomon Northup's memoir of the same name into a movie so deep and engrossing, while also being possible under director Steve McQueen's guidance. Final vote on this category is that 12 Years a Slave should win the Oscar, and will win the Oscar. For Best Original Screenplay, the nominees are American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Dallas Buyers Club, Her, and Nebraska. As opposed to the last writing category, I have more to say about this one, as I feel that Her should and will win the Oscar, because Spike Jonze wrote a love story between a guy and his computer, which sounded ridiculous to many people, but made it sound so believable that it could happen to anybody, and was able to direct Her off of his wonderful screenplay. To add on, it is also the most original writing in this category, and gives us the best interpretation about the relationship between humans and technology, and that one person could be able to fall in love with it if possible. Jones's win for Best Screenplay at the Golden Globes may also factor into him winning here as well. Final vote on this category is that Her should win the Oscar, and will win the Oscar. For Best Animated Feature, the nominees are The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine, Frozen, and The Wind Rises. This category, like the Best Supporting Actress category, is down between two nominees. The two nominees being Frozen and The Wind Rises. What do I think should take the Oscar? I feel The Wind Rises deserves it despite not having seen it yet. In fact, the film was just released in the United States the weekend this video was made. The Wind Rises should win because it is said to be Hayao Miyazaki's final film, and despite Miyazaki already having an Oscar for Spirited Away, I feel this would be a great way to honor his legacy and contribution to animated films in general. Unfortunately, there are several factors already hurting The Wind Rises' chances for winning. As I already mentioned that the movie was just released here in the United States, and was already out in its native Japan since July of 2013. Another factor that could also hurt The Wind Rises is who I think will win in this category, Frozen. As I mentioned back in the original song category, Frozen has been pretty successful for Disney and is still currently in the top 10 US box office since November of 2013, and it has won the Golden Globe for the same category as well, with The Wind Rises nominated as Japan's Best Foreign Language Film at the Golden Globes, but that lost to Italy's The Great Beauty, which also has likely to win the Oscar as well. I still think The Wind Rises has a chance, but it may get overshadowed by Frozen, if anything at all. Final vote on this category is that The Wind Rises should win the Oscar, but Frozen will win the Oscar. For Best Director, the nominees are David O. Russell for American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street. Like the Best Supporting Actor category, there is a clear winner here, and all I have to say is Alfonso Cuarón should and will win, as Gravity is such a groundbreaking achievement for films that have this much visual flair, as Gravity does, with directing, and doing so with such a technical masterpiece takes a whole lot of work to do. Gravity is definitely going to take all the technical awards as well, and it would be a bigger crime if Cuarón does not win for this award at all. Final vote on this category is that Alfonso Cuarón should win the Oscar, and will win the Oscar. For Best Actress, the nominees are Amy Adams for American Hustle, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. Right off the bat, I want to mention that everyone in this category has been nominated for an Oscar before, but more importantly, that everyone here has won an Oscar except for Amy Adams, who is my pick for who should win the Oscar. Why? Adams has been nominated 4 times before this one and has not won a single Oscar, which inclines me to want the Academy to give it to her more because of how great of an actress she is. But if anyone is going to take it from Adams, it will be Cate Blanchett, who is my pick for who will win here, as the Academy tends to hand out Oscars for those who play mentally unstable characters really well, as Cate Blanchett does for Blue Jasmine. Nonetheless, Adams still does have a good chance, even if Blanchett might end up taking it home Oscar night. Final vote on this category is that Adams should win the Oscar, but Cate Blanchett will win the Oscar. For Best Actor, the nominees are Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. Before I run down this category, I want to mention that there's a major snub in this category, that is Joaquin Phoenix for Her, as he was nominated and lost the Golden Globe for Best Actor, Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical, which would have been my pick to win the Oscar as well. But out of the nominees here, I feel that this is Matthew McConaughey's to take home, as he has had a tremendous track record for turning around his career since 2011, delivering great performance after great performance for most of his most recent movies, and this is no exception as well. McConaughey was also pretty dedicated to his role, like his co-star Jared Leto, as he had to lose some weight in order to play a cowboy stricken with AIDS. While McConaughey does have some competition from Ejiofor and DiCaprio, who took the previously mentioned award that I talked about with Joaquin Phoenix, and McConaughey did take one for drama. This is still Matthew McConaughey's one for the taking. Final vote for this category is that McConaughey should win the Oscar and will win the Oscar. Now, finally, let's move on to the Best Picture. The nominees are American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. Out of these 9 stellar nominations, I feel that it only comes down to 3 nominees who will be duking it out for Best Picture, as these also have the most nominations this year. Those nominees are American Hustle, Gravity, and 12 Years a Slave. Which nominee do I think should win? I really want American Hustle to win because it was my favorite movie of 2013 and is now one of my favorite movies ever for many reasons. Gravity still has a chance to win as well because it is still one of the most visually impressive films ever made, and the Academy may feel that it might be time to honor a film like Gravity. However, 12 Years a Slave is the most likely to win Best Picture, and is also my pick for who will win too. Why? The Academy has a history, a big history, of giving Best Picture to movies that are historically relevant at the time. And, well, 12 Years a Slave is no exception, as at the time it was released, just last year, 2013, it is such a powerful movie, with a lot to say about what went down in the southern USA over 150 years ago. And the Academy is most likely to do so again this year. And they already have a track record for doing so, so they may feel, why fix something that is not broken in their eyes? And they're likely to do so again, time and time again. Final vote on this category is that American Hustle should win the Oscar, but 12 Years a Slave will ultimately win the Oscar. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed what you think of my picks and preferences prefer to watch the ceremony